Hello, everyone, from the last time here at the SciMike stage, which is supported by the George Washington University. This is being presented in person here in Phoenix, as well as streaming online at the AAAS Annual Meeting YouTube page. I am your host, Jessica Hubbard, and again, we are on our last interview of the day, so let's jump right in with Wolfgang Tress, professor at Zurich University of Applied Sciences. Welcome to the SciMike stage.
Yeah, hello, it's great to be here.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about what I'm doing in research. So I could say I'm a doctor, but not a medical doctor. I have a PhD, but my PhD is in physics. But I would still say I'm a kind of doctor, I'm a kind of a device doctor. So that's why I labeled also like this slide here that I'm examining novel devices. What does this mean? What do I mean with examining? What do I mean with like new devices? We're working on new materials for like, to improve devices which maybe already exist, to make new ones. For example, for novel ways of computing, for harvesting solar energy more efficiently, like the solar cells. And my kind of specialty is to understand what is kind of the issue of these devices. Because we try to make them, this is a new material, nobody knows how exactly it works, it's a bit sketched here, how it looks like. And these devices have many illnesses in a sense, meaning that they need a lot of improvement, they are not as efficient, they are not so stable during the time. And to better understand how this works, I have an electrical engineering background as well. We try to characterize them. We try to find new ways, shine different kinds of light on these devices in our labs. And not only this one, we try to also bring them into our computers. So we try to simulate them to create a kind of digital twin, if you want to call it like this.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, and like this we try to better understand. And we do this also in collaboration, so it's not only the devices we develop, but many colleagues actually come to us to have their devices a bit analyzed or examined.
It sounds a little interdisciplinary, correct?
Definitely. Yeah. So it's in between, engineering. I have an electrical engineering background, also solid state physics. There's a lot of chemistry, and there's a lot of material science when it comes to these new materials.
And you'll be talking more about this in your session coming up here in less than an hour, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Then we will focus on the part where we want to use these materials for novel ways of computing, kind of neuromorphic computing. We are trying to build devices which mimic a bit the functionality of the brain. Now with the hype and the growth of AI, it would be very good, and AI consumes lots of energy, it would be very good to have also hardware which is, as energy efficient as the hardware, or maybe it's more software actually we are having in our brain. Yeah, this is the session, how it's called, Ions in Motion. No, this is like how I think my part is called. It's called making better neural networks with perovskites. Perovskites are the materials, the new materials we're working on.
If we can take a step back and I can ask a little bit about your career itself, when did you first realize that you wanted to do this kind of work?
I would say it was rather late. So it was it was never my dream, like becoming a scientist. But I liked a lot when I was already like in high school. I liked a lot electronics, so I studied electrical engineering. I thought I would become an engineer, but during this path, I recognized that I really like to do research, and I had many fellow students who also thought that I'm a good teacher. That's why at the end I became professor.
So you made a bit of a pivot, right? A little bit of a change in course.
Yeah, well, at the end, I took the decisions then still rather early. So when you now look back, it looks actually rather like smooth in a sense.
Right.
I didn't go too much in one direction. Yeah.
So in your work, what really excites you to do your field of work?
I think the best in our work, in my opinion, is really that we have questions, we have some tough kind of nuts to crack. So we discover things that have not been discovered before. We find answers to questions which nobody has solved before. So we really generate knowledge. When I was a student, we had to learn what others found. And it was very difficult to follow the math, the physics they did. And I was always wondering how, could they find these laws? But now, actually, of course, now we are doing it in a very much more specialized way than decades ago or centuries ago. But it's very exciting, to create this new knowledge, disseminated at conferences, and having also kind of students coming back to us. That's very rewarding when they say, I read your work, it helped me to better understand the matter.
You mentioned students. What role has mentorship played in maybe your career or in the work that you do now?
For me personally, I have to say I never had a very strong mentor. I didn't too much search for it. I thought that I can take decisions myself. Maybe sometimes they were not, the most straightforward ones. But I wanted to have also this learning experience myself. I got support from previous supervisors, which was very helpful. And I got this encouragement, as I mentioned already, from the fellows that what I'm doing also is received well from the outside.
We have many students who are here attending the conference, and they may be listening here now or may attend your session coming up here soon. What would you say to those students who attend this session or are listening now and they think, wow, this work is really cool or really interesting? What advice would you have for them to maybe follow a similar path, or how would they get into this field?
The most straightforward path is that you study physical sciences, physics, engineering, computer science also would work, and that you like it, that you see that this is fun for you, that this is exciting for yourself, because science is sometimes, I described it now very positively, but there is many dead ends. Very often you don't find the answer easily. So if it's not fun to you, then probably it's not the right thing to do.
And thinking about, a career path, has there been any advice that you've received maybe in life in general, outside of work or within work itself, that has stayed with you or influenced how you've pursued your career?
That's difficult. I think the most important advice was, or I would also give, is you need to remain very authentic, in
Yes.
what you do, and you need to know yourself why you're doing it.
I think that's great advice. I want to pivot now to what I'm calling the final phase of the interviews, where we do science and it's really important part of our lives, but we also have interest outside of that, right? So I wanted to ask if you are reading anything right now or have any hobbies that bring you joy.
Yeah, I fully agree. I also tell this to my students from time to time. I expect good work from them, but I also tell them exactly there is much more. In my case, I have to say that at the moment there is not much time to read. Some time ago, I read a very nice novel, and this person wrote many good novels. Pascal Mercier, a Swiss writer. He passed away recently, unfortunately, and philosopher. The Weight of Words he wrote. I highly recommend this novel. And hobby-wise, I like music. I play the organ.
Oh, that's cool.
Also in the church, yeah. But I think I started the answer differently. At the moment, in principle, I don't have time. I have 2 small kids. So I'm maximum reading some child's books to them.
Are there any final thoughts that you would like to leave here with listeners in Phoenix or anyone tuning in online?
Of course, I recommend our session, as the previous speakers also did. 4 o'clock upstairs. Learn more about this fancy, this very peculiar material, which we call Perovskite. So be there and, enjoy science.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you joining me on the SciMike stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. That is our final interview on the SciMike stage here in Phoenix. Physics. I just wanted to say a big shout out to the AAAS staff who made this possible and the audio and video teams who helped put this together. Thank you all so much for your work, but we'll see you at the next conference. Thank you.